Hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Denise Guru, your Ascension Oracle, because I like to pick Oracle cards once in a while for you guys. But the reason I wanted to do this video today was, and I apologize if my computer gets noisy. The fan in there makes a lot of noise, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk today about the spiral wheel. And the reason that I want to talk to you about that is because in my other video, I mentioned um, getting this download. I mean, it's just been like for the last month building a spiral wheel. And usually we move a lot. My husband builds houses and we move a lot, but we're up in the mountains of Colorado right now. And um, I like to build a spiral out in my yard. And I haven't done it. We've been here. This is our second summer. And I haven't done it yet. And so last week I went out and I will do share screen so you can see my spiral. There it is. Okay, so this is the spiral that I built that is between my house and where the horses are. And because I work with horse energy and people can come and actually do work with the horses actually are working energetically with people, I thought it'd be a perfect place. So this spiral here is made with Riverstone and moss rock, and it is roughly 30 feet in diameter. So it's a pretty big spiral. And I mean, I start here. So when you build your spiral, I wanted to tell you about building your spiral and then a few things about the spiral wheel. This is actually in the east. And so when you build your spiral, you want your entrance in the east. And then you're going to have three, at least, you should have three pathways going around. So I'm on my second, and then the third, and then I'm in the center here. And in the center here is where I keep a lot of my Druzy. I have a lot of petrified wood with the Druzy crystal. I have two rainbow boji stones, and I like those in there because those are, the rainbow bogies are pretty much, they say that they are extraterrestrial. So I like those in there, and because I work with the rainbow light in my wheel, my spiral wheel, what better thing, to have the rainbow bogies, because it's also a connection to the ETs, the higher dimensional ETs. I have some soda light in there, and I have some raw amethyst. And so that is my spiral wheel. And like I said before, you don't have a lot of rocks. I mean, get creative, guys. I've made one out of a few rocks and sticks. So I just went around with a few rocks and then sticks between each rock. Go to the Home Depot, maybe get some bricks or something. You can make yours out of brick. I know a lot of people do the spiral and then they grow an herb garden in it. But this is actually, I use it every morning. I go out and I use it. And so the first few mornings I went out and I smudged it. So I had my smudge and I walked the spiral, went around all the way and smudged it while I was walking. And then the next morning I went out and I also work with tuning forks, and I have use the 528 hertz tuning fork. And it was really interesting because my gelding here's my gelding. They both were standing here, and the gelding, horses feel energy very easy. And when I was working with the 528 tuning fork, he picked up on that. And and he let down. And what I mean by that is he relaxed, and his little wiener was hanging down, and that's because he was relaxed and he was absorbing all the energy. So with geldings, it's really easy to tell, if they're really enjoying the energy work. And so he was just bringing it all in. And so I used the 5/28 and I used the tuning fork while I walked all the way around. And then this morning I have the Ohm tuning fork, and that one is weighted, so it's not really the sound, it's the vibration. And I went and walked it and did the same thing. And I also, you walk clockwise, sunwise, and then when you're leaving, you go counterclockwise. We call it DO. Um, so in the middle of the spiral, I do the meditation, I do the rainbow meditation. And so I'm also using the Phoenix energy. So I'm standing there and I'm the pillar of the energy coming down and spiral. The spiral, actually, when you see it in nature, you see spirals in nature all the time, seashells. um, look at the let me see, I got one right here. You can look at the pine cone, and your pineal gland is pretty much the same, and it's a spiral. A lot of times, okay, look in the ocean, if you see a whirlpool, it's a spiral. So think of all the different nature-made spirals, and that's nature's way of showing where energy is coming in, and it is cosmic energy. And so this is a way of bringing this cosmic energy, and it's not just it's not just energy, it's also consciousness energy. And that's why the word Kundalini is the Sanskrit word for spiral, spiral coil. As your Kundalini is rising, it is spiraling up. Your DNA, uh, the DNA is a spiral. And so when you work with this energy and you're bringing this energy in, you're bringing these higher conscious energies in. And that's why they kept giving me this download. Everybody needs to have one in their yard. And you people that don't have big yards, maybe you can share a yard with some friend. And this energy, when you work with it, because it's a spiral, I'm gonna get out of here now. Because you're working with the spiral, and when I did my rainbow meditation with you, what did I do? We were the pillar of the incoming Phoenix energy, the higher consciousness energy, and then we working through our heart, and then we allowed the energy to flow out through our heart. I'll post that meditation so you can. But we were also kicking butt when we're doing that meditation. We were working through the heart, but we were sending the love and the gratitude and for the lessons out through our heart, and it was spiraling out. Like when you throw a pebble in the lake, and how it just goes out, 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 out. So that's what your spiral is doing in your yard. And when you're working with it, you are sending more of an intention, and so that will spiral out through your neighborhood, and it will help your neighborhood. And so if we all do that, and every neighborhood had one, I mean, it's just going to expand and expand. And when I work with mine, I'm always working multidimensionally, and I'm working through the layers of the densities, and through, well, you could look at the Milky Way galaxy. That's a spiral, isn't it? And so this energy, the spiraling energy, is really, really powerful, you guys. And this is why we all need to work with this. And so when you're in there, I'm also going to post the goddess Vortex meditation, which I like to do. And so we're working with sound, and we're actually walking around, and we're bringing that energy in, but we're working with the vibration of the sound. So we're working with that goddess Vortex. So if I forget, somebody comment, okay? But yes, that hopefully should be in the description. So you can do that in the meditation, and I will eventually be hosting group meditations in there, where we'll be working with the rainbow energy, the phoenix, that bright, fiery red and gold and amethyst energy, sending it out like phoenixes. We're all phoenixes and we're sending that energy out. And we're doing this in the spiral. So, we're really intensifying, we're bringing that natural cosmic energy and we're really intensifying that. And so I think if everybody would do that, I mean, we could really, really uh, increase this timeline for 5D and helping those who are still on the cusp of awakening. And you know so it's an increased intense way of working with your chakras. And I'm a Reiki master. I mean, really, who isn't these days? And when we work with the chakras, a lot of people think that the chakra, say a person is standing upright, a lot of people think the chakra is this way. So person is standing upright, the chakra is spinning this way on the front of the person. So it's spinning this way, spinning from the front of his body to the back. And actually the chakra is spinning this way. So it's spinning, horizontally instead of vertically. And so imagine a pole. If I just put a pole at the top of my head and stuck the pole from the top of my head all the way down to the ground, I would want that pole to align with the middle of each of my chakras. So the pole would go through each chakra. So the chakras are stacked this way instead of this way. Okay, so a lot of people think it's this way, and that is wrong. And so, when we're working with the spiral, we're also working with our own our energy centers. And working with this spiral is also going to increase all of your clairs. You're going to increase that consciousness. So all the clairs are going to come in, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, all of those are going to increase, and you can set that intention. But what I've noticed, the first day I went out there, the energy was so intense. I mean, it set my pace for the rest of the day. And I actually went out there feeling just a little low, being an empath, I pick up on the stuff around me. And so when I went in there and worked with it, and I'm only in there for maybe 15 minutes, I got out and I was just so energized. And but the wildlife, and yeah, we're May now, we're up here 8,500 feet. And so I'm a bird person. I'm Gemini, so I'm a real huge bird person. I love birds. But I noticed when we moved in here last summer, there was not a lot of birds. And we are a little dry up here. And the birds coming in were ridiculous. And so I noticed that right away. And the jackrabbits were running around in the front yard. And I got a whole bunch of hummingbirds, where last year I only had a couple hummingbirds. And then I intentionally work with a raven. And so there is a raven couple here that I just love when they come and hover over, and we kind of talk back and forth. So, you're working, when you're working, you're working with the natural realms. You're working with Gaia, you're working with nature, you're working with the natural realms. And so it's something that I think all of us should do. And like I said, if you don't have a yard, maybe you can go out in the woods somewhere. If you have a area where you can go and hike and maybe build your own private little spiral, or like I said before in my other meditation, get creative. It doesn't have to be out in your yard. You can go buy yourself one of those big drop cloths that the painters use and paint yourself a spiral and use the colors of the chakras. Use the rainbow colors when you do it. And I just designed a t-shirt it's a t-shirt shop, and it is the spiral, and each one is the color of the chakras, and underneath it says cosmic energy. And that t-shirt in itself is carrying the energy, because we know color and symbols. They carry energy just like our thoughts do. And so, yeah, get creative, or just find yourself a big canvas. Paint yourself a spiral on the canvas, and make a few of them around your house. And so, but that's all I wanted to talk about today. But the spiral energy is it is the seat of our consciousness. I mean, Sanskrit word for Kundalini. I mean, really, people. So if we all did that, can you imagine the changes we can make in our planet? I mean, Gaia would be so grateful. She would respond, and the deletes. I call them deletes, not elites. I call them deletes because they're done and over with. I mean, it's just going to really drive them bonkers because of all the cosmic energy that we're going to be bringing in. So that's all I had to say for you guys today. And maybe I should pick a card. I got my new deck, my mystical shaman deck, and so maybe I'll pick a card and see what insight we have for the star seeds by putting what would be the outcome of all of us doing the spiral and actually working with the spirals. I want to see spirals everywhere, guys. Spirals with intention of bringing in that 5D consciousness and really helping Gaia. She's going to do what she's going to do anyways. But I mean, if we're helping us with our connection to her. And so this top card here felt like the card. Oh. You can't make this stuff up, like I keep saying. Can't make this the circle. Okay, so this is the circle is about community. So what it's saying is it's the community coming together. It's the community putting aside the division and the separation, and I'm this and you're that, and it's coming together. And so this is what I'm getting from this card anyways. And the circle is a continuation, it's a continuum, but you see all the handprints. So it's talking about us. It's talking about the circle of friends. And so by all of us coming together and building the spiral, it is like we're all in one circle together. It's like we're building this huge community. And that's how you make change, through working together in community, working the circle. And so that's what I'm getting. I'm going to also read what it says out of the book, because that is card number 8. And so the book sometimes will have a different, another meaning even above what I'm getting. So, okay, the essence of this card is unification, which I just said, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The circle reminds us we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing and always connected. Human, spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. All right, guys. I mean, the invitation. Okay. When the circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world. Knowing that you count, that you have purpose in your world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of our life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. Okay, so there's only one other card in here, I think, that there is actually, I bet you, I think, yeah, there's actually a spiral card in here. But I'm talking about working with the spiral and working all of us together to bring community. You know, all of us, I want all of us. That's what I'm saying is, if I didn't want this, I wouldn't do a video. I'd just do my spiral and work it with it myself. So it's about all of us working together and bringing in what it is we want, bringing in the 5D, reconnecting. It's so important, you guys. I say this all the time. Reconnecting back with everything. We're all connected. We need to reconnect with our planet and all the natural realms and all the wildlife and the animals. And we really have to think, really, really think how we're connecting with every one of them. How are you connecting with this planet? How are you connecting with the animals? What are you supporting? What are you continuing? What do you continue to support? Are you still eating other beings? Are you still eating meat? I mean, that, you know, I've talked about this before, and that is all part of spirituality. And so really, we have to really start thinking about how it is we're connecting with each other, with everything else that we are connected with on this planet. And so the spiral is really going to help a lot of us. And so I'm going to work with mine with other people and start having meditations in my spiral wheel with the community. And wouldn't it be cool if each community could designate a space just for a wheel and everybody in the community get together and build a wheel that anybody can go use at any time? I lived in a little town and they built a labyrinth, and that gets a little bit more involved. I'm on almost 12 acres. I could probably do a labyrinth, but I have a lot of trees. So to make one big enough, I mean, the one that I have was the biggest spot I had that was not full of trees. And I hate just cutting a bunch of trees down. So, you live on the beach. Make one on the beach. Make one out of shells. I don't know. So use your imagination. And so let's all be interconnected through the spiral. Let's rise our Kundalini by working with the spiral. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you today. And we will talk to you soon.